Yeah, tell me.
You were telling that no one is speaking, so I said yes, sir, we are ready.
I didn't get it. And very less people, not even a 30 count is not there in afternoon. 27, 26. Okay. Anyway, it is recording. People can see from the cards or whatever it is. Okay, storage virtualization is a very simple. It is not a separate one. Okay, a lot of different virtualization. Everything they put a, some kind of names on that. So what is the storage virtualization? Two ways you can able to tell storage virtualization. Okay, two ways you can able to tell is this it is a storage virtualization. One way is we already known those things only. That's why I am started with that one. Actually, I want to start it morning 11 o'clock only today, but morning I speak about something else that is very important, of course. Okay, combination of like a normally you store it data in the single disk, right? We take a one disk or maybe a two disk. Okay, maybe you take a one disk, and maybe we'll take a two disk, or maybe you take a three disk. But what you are doing it, we store the data in the disk, right? We store the data in the disk. Got the point, right? So normally we store the data in the disk. That's it. Very simple. Either how many disks you are taking, we store the data in the disk directly. But if you to avoid a disk means data combination. For example, I have a lot of ISO images. I keep it all my ISO images in my G drive. So most of my applications and ISO images, operating system related or any ISO images, I will keep it here. Applications, setup files, I'll keep it in the G drive only. All my virtual machines, I keep it in a separate drive. So I'm not a deleted this virtual machine. Virtual. Okay. It's okay. Okay, I'll keep all my virtual machines in the H drive, so then I can access all the virtual machines from here directly. Okay, like this. Next, F drive is my world drive, and I have some world applications, images, and data. Maybe mostly my personal data. I will keep it that one. E drive is a new drive. Your videos. So whenever I usually your class videos, when I record the videos, I'll keep it here. Okay, generally this is my drivers, and some other small things are there. World pictures are one or two. It's a very small drive itself. C drive is my main operating system files, right? Like this. So what I'm going to do is, instead of putting everything into the one place, what I'm going to do, what is the meaning of showing like that? I logically divide my hard disk into small parts. I logically divide my hard disk into small parts. So this is called partitioning. Logically, we are dividing. This is also a virtual. Virtually, we are dividing. Physically, we are not dividing. Virtually, we are dividing. But more like it is a logically we are dividing. Okay, this is a simple or a single first step, or maybe a simple step to say a virtual kind of stuff. Virtually, we are dividing a physical hard disk into small parts. Okay. Okay, guys.
Okay, sir.
So why low voice my speakers, your mic or my mic? Voice is clear, right, from my side?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
We
your
are
voice is clear.
Okay. Like last time, two three times it happened, no? I'm keep on speaking, no one can able to hear. You're shouting like sir, unable to hear. but from my side I don't know what happened. So sometimes it will happens. Okay, so yeah. Next one is
Go to
my disk is
that
not
problem,
enough.
sir.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
Go to meeting, you have that problem, sir.
Maybe I from your batch only I started using this GoToMeeting. Maybe it is a GoToMeeting problem or maybe a time problem or Muhurt problem. I don't know. It's completely disaster for me. Earlier I use all batches. This year I use this Google Meet only. Google Meet. Last year I used Zoom. This year I'm using a Google Meeting. Normally we have a problem is a recording problem. Okay, so I got my own recorder like from Google only, easy recorder. Okay, better than this GoToMeeting recorder. Okay, here thing is here it is. Yeah, if my one disk size is not enough, one disk size is not enough, what I have to do? For example, this is 1 terabyte. This disk size is not enough. What I have to do?
Connected external, sir.
This concept. One disk is there. It's a 1 terabyte of data. I feel it is not enough.
Red zero, sir.
I want two
If
Red
terabyte
zero.
single drive. What to do?
Red zero.
Write zero. So do write zero. Or maybe you can use. Also, you can call this one as a strip volume. You can say strip volume. Or maybe you can use a span. Not in a write, but you can use a span. Also, will combine the disk. So we are combining the disk logically or virtually and creating a huge space. For example, each disk is 1 terabyte and I am getting a total space is 2 terabyte. This is also a storage virtualization. Second, storage virtualization combination of disk and create a single volume. And almost all we can say write. And another way also we can combine, right? What is the other concept of combining a disk and make it as a single volume? One more concept I said write, and as well as one more concept I said.
Mirror.
In a ride we done ride and mirror ride 5. That is we done.
so strip,
Combination of disk.
strip, stripping
Logical volume.
Yes. Create as a single volume group. Physical volumes combined, creating a single volume group. In the volume group, you created a logical volumes. So what is this concept? Physical volume, volume group, logical volume. What is this concept?
LVM, sir.
LVM.
LVM.
LVM, sir.
LVM.
Yeah. Logical volume manager.
Group.
Okay. So this is a right logical volume manager. Same thing only, right? As a definition, virtually or logically, we are combining the disk. One more concept is called storage space. One more concept is called a storage space. Right. LVM. One more concept is storage space. Storage space is more like LVM. In Windows, the concept of LVM is in Windows is called a storage space. Very simply say, LVM is a storage space. Last time, actually, Charan sir only asked one question in a classroom. That is a very good question. What is the question is, what is the difference between um, RAID and LVM? Anybody can able to say what is the difference between RAID and LVM? So major difference.
Basically, RAID is for backup purpose, right, sir?
No,
Whereas LVM it is for volume management, disk management, right, sir?
RAID is not used for a backup. Backup is separate. Whether you have a RAID or not, backup is compulsory. Backup is backup.
Uh,
RAID is main redundancy array of independent disk, and where LVM is like we have separate group of
Tell me
layers like
abbreviation LVM.
LVM. Yes, what abbreviation?
You said RAID means redundant array of independent disks. And what is LVM?
Yes, logical volume.
Volume manager. Okay. One
logical
difference
volume
completed.
manager, sir.
Actually, it combines RAID combines a multiple disk into a single logical unit.
Okay. And LVM also combines the disk as a single logical unit. But we are creating again logical volumes inside. Very good. The one point is very good. So we are combining disk, either
The
mirror or a
different
strip
types
or
and
RAID 5. We combine the disk and make it as a single volume directly after RAID. But here we take a physical volumes and combine the physical volumes. We create a volume group. Inside a volume group, we are creating logical volumes. Number of logical volumes we are creating, not as a single volume. Either single or multiple we can create in LVM, but RAID is a single volume always. Good, good, good point observation. Next, LVM may said anytime like a mirror or a RAID 5 kind of stick means if any disk is failure, no problem. Can we access the data or not in LVM? May said anything like that?
if we don't have space, then yes, if we don't have space in the disk, then we can take the another hard disk. And in RAID, it provides the performance by spreading the disk inputs as multiple disks.
Okay.
Sorry, in LVM we can just add the disk whichever we want, but in RAID we have to delete the RAID bond
Yes.
between those disks and
Yes.
add a new one. But in LVM we cannot do that. Means we can do that. Without breaking the bond between the disks, we can add a new disk to extend the memory size.
Yes. LVM VG size can be keep extending. So there is a not a particular limitation, and you cannot remove the disk while um, LVM is there. So that is very difficult to remove the disk. Important is RAID provide redundancy. It means if disk is failure, still we can able to access the data in a mirror and RAID 5. But LVM, if disk is failure, it can be a data loss. It can be it maybe there can be a data loss. And LVM will take any size of the disk, like a 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, a partition, leftover partitions also we can add it to LVM. In RAID, it is very strict, like a same size disk partition only it will accept. Okay, but storage space is also like a LVM only, like LVM, but this is a introduced in Windows 8 and 2012 server. Okay, storage space. So this is also a concept of
LVM
what it is.
LVM is not supported in Windows only. It is supported in Linux only.
Linux only. LVM is in Linux only.
Yes.
So it is from so many years, means so many versions of Linux. LVM is there, but in Windows they introduced newly about that one. So two things we said. First of all, one is like a partitioning disk. We can say a virtually it is a separate drive, C drive, D drive, E drive. Virtually it is drive, but it is actually a single physical hard disk. Next one is concepts like RAID, redundancy, array of independent disk. Okay, so this is I said first point. So this is my second. Write LVM concepts or a storage space. Guys, if you don't know or I don't understand storage space kind of stuff, or maybe you can't explain what is storage space, you can leave it now about. But understand the concept why I said storage virtualization comes under this kind of stuff, RAID and LVM. So
Sir,
third one.
sir, in hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, in RAID, the disk becomes from basic to dynamic, sir. But in LVM, there is no such terms.
Yeah, that is
One more.
again Windows Windows disk. So normally basic disk, you have to convert into dynamic. So to join into RAID.
Perform,
In
yeah,
LVM, we have to
perform
tell
RAID
it is a physical drive. Physical, which one?
disk,
LVM. Individual disk
physical
is
volume,
physical
physical
volume.
volume.
Very good. You guys are remember. Good. I thought you, uh, usually it's a class, right? So once we hear, we forget. That is a very general thing. Okay, good. You remember. Okay, so actually, if you do as I said, like you more potential will increase. Guys, this is my hard disk. For example, this is my 1 terabyte of hard disk. Okay, so here I am created a 100 GB virtual hard disk. 100 GB virtual hard disk. I'm going to third. So what is this? What I said here. For example, VHD. Okay, what is this? I created a virtual hard disk in the physical disk. So 1 terabyte is a physical disk, and this 100 GB is a virtual hard disk in the physical location. So this is a storage virtualization. I can connect this 100 GB hard disk as a physical thing, right? So I can this 100 GB hard disk I can connect to my system. I can store the data as per my requirement, and I can disconnect it if you don't like it. If I don't like it, I can detach this VHD. I can detach this virtual hard disk, and I can transfer this virtual hard disk. Means I can copy this virtual hard disk to my external hard disk, or maybe I can store it in a network location. Maybe I will connect it to virtual machine. Maybe if I want, I can connect this virtual hard disk to a virtual machine, also possible. So as a terminology, it is a disk. Okay, like a hard disk, it is a disk. Yeah, we can migrate means your copy or move from one place to another place. That is a migration. Yes, you can migrate
From
or a
from one
copy
piece
or
to another
export
piece.
this disk from my location to another location. Oh, wow. I close every door, every window. Only have one door only. Still noise is there. What to do? My if I connect to Bluetooth, maybe there is a problem will occur again, yesterday.
Use earphones, sir.
That 3.5 jack won't work. This is a very old system. How to search my company given one 70s people are also given one Bluetooth headset, but I don't know where I kept it. Even I didn't charging from so many years. That is full headset. It is very Yeah, it is very difficult now searching in the small house, small room. Okay, now the noise is less. We stop for a bit while maybe. Okay, I started now. Okay, point is understand, guys. So this is a hard disk, but you can store, but we are storing in the physical locations, and we can move this disk from one location to another location. When you want, you can connect it and you can store the data or you can access the data. Okay, and you can connect this virtual hard disk to a virtual machines as a primary hard disk or a secondary hard disk. For example, if you check it, virtual machines in my PC. So these are a VMware virtual machines, right? So you can see, for example, this is VMDK. This is a virtual hard disk file, and it is connected to a virtual machine. It is a machine. Remaining parts are machine parts only, but this is virtual hard disk. Okay, like that. So virtual hard disk, we can store operating system, we can store data, we can connect to physical machine as a second, as a disk, normal disk, and we can detach it also. No need to shut down or restart your PC to attach a virtual hard disk, and you can attach this virtual hard disk to virtual machine also. Why people are doing some? Okay, okay, understand, guys. So here is the concept of second, as a third point, because I put a star means this is originally virtual hard disk. So we can show like what is a storage virtualization. You can tell about a virtual hard disk also. Concept of virtual hard disk. What is a virtual hard disk? It is a disk which located in your physical storage location only, where whenever you want it, you can connect it, you can put the data, access the data from the virtual hard disk. Different formats are there. Anybody will tell virtual hard disk formats? Before going to formats, I am going to types.
Types.
Fixed disk,
Dynamical exp-
dynamically expanding. Very good. And one more is there, that is called it differencing. Differencing disk is there. I will explain differencing disk. And already I given information about fixed disk, right? What is fixed disk? What is dynamically expanding disk? What is differencing disk in the storage? Oh, sorry, differencing disk I don't tell, but I given information about this one. Next is a formats. So in a
Sir,
usually in
what
a
is
Microsoft,
difference?
I will tell. Okay, definitely I will tell. Because I have to take revenges. So in a Microsoft, usually in a Microsoft Hyper-V, Microsoft operating systems. Okay, so in Microsoft means like in Windows. Okay, in a Windows or a Hyper-V environment. Okay, so in a Hyper-V. Okay, so what is both are Microsoft only. So what are the disk format? .vhd, .vhdx. This is support up to 2
OTD.
terabytes. We support up to 64
Is it and up
terabytes.
to 64 TB?
So you can create a virtual hard disk. The size of virtual hard disk can be up to 64 terabytes. For example, if you are using a VMware, the format type is .vmdk. If you are using VirtualBox .vdi Linux virtual hard disk in their platform. So KVM, if you are in a KVM format, capital KVM or anything QEMU. So in a virtualization Linux virtualization platform, you are creating a virtual disk. It's a QCOW. Actually, version 2 is there. So different formats are there. Dot IMG format, image dot image, IMAGE format, okay, IMG format. Like different formats are there by different technology and techniques it is. Okay, so some are all unique formats also there. Means they follow as per any cross-platform working type of support is also will work.
Sir, for Mac there is no such extent format, sir. Storage formats.
Mac maybe this one because
Okay, sir.
Mac is also is like kind of virtualization is KVM. I don't have a knowledge on any Mac kind of stuff because I don't like it because it's very costly.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I don't have a knowledge on it. But if you check it, what is the virtualization platform in a Mac kind of stuff, then you can try how to create a virtual hard disk in a Mac. Mostly this format only, I think so. We'll get it. Okay, so not only an application based, it is a by generally it is there. So this is the different format. So virtual hard disk is a another concept of storage virtualization. Differencing disk is, I said no, I will tell a differencing disk kind of stuff. Now I will tell a differencing disk. Okay, guys, listen very carefully so then we can understand storage virtualization, data virtualization, and these kind of concepts by simply how it is. Okay, and I will tell a story also. Okay, which one you understand, that is important. Which one is not important, understand, that is a secondary only. So careful, guys. Think, this is my virtual hard disk, this is my virtual hard disk, and it is my main hard disk. Like I put a name called a parent. I put a name. My name is parent disk. It is a main hard disk, main virtual hard disk, and I kept a data. So I have some data, important data is there. So like I put a data one, data two. Like I have some important data. So I put a data and files like that. I have kept the data in my disk. I have data. Simple. Okay. I have a data in the my disk. Now I have a data, so you can connect it, you can access the data. Okay, understand the point. I have a virtual hard disk, and it is my main virtual hard disk, and I kept some data in the hard disk. Very simple, right? I have a virtual hard disk. That's it. Now what I'm going to do is, there is a situation is occur, I may have to modify the data based on some reports. I have to modify my data. If I modify this data, maybe data may corrupted. If I'm accessing the data with some application, data may be corrupted, right? If I modify, data may be corrupted. If I accessing or changing something, or maybe I run I access the data to some application, so that data may be corrupted. I don't want to get changes in my data. I don't want to change my data, but I want to work with my data. See, what is that condition? Okay, don't teach me, but I have to know. How is the condition? Don't teach me, but I want to know. Otherwise, you can say, since, okay, don't tell me, just like a girlfriend. but I want to know what is this condition.
Take
What it is?
to that situation, take her along with you, sir.
Where? Okay, this is a
Joking,
situation.
sir.
Don't tell me,
Sir,
but I want to know kind
sir,
of
just
question.
block. Sir, just block her, sir.
Who is that one? I didn't get it. What you said? The noise
I'm
is
saying,
very
sir,
heavy.
sir, I'm saying if she says this, na, don't tell me, but I want to know. Then just block her, sir.
Yeah, you can do it. For some people, no choice. What they will do?
Like Vishal, Vishal is lot of experience in this
Vishal
scenario.
having a multiple choice.
Sir, no, sir.
So we are in home, don't talk. But for me, no problem. No one is there here in my room.
Like Vishal sir.
Like Vishal, okay. Then. Okay.
Sir,
So
even girls are acting like Vishal only.
Oh yeah, done to start. Done. At least speak, sir.
okay. So this is what happens in your data. I don't want to get changed data. I don't want to modify my data, but access my data and modify the data and as well as analyze my data. Something I should do that. So this is the condition. So what I have done, I created disk. This is a disk on my main disk. On my main disk, I created a disk. In the disk is actually has a link. There is a link between these two disks. There is a link between these two disks. What is the use of this link of this? This data, this data can view from this disk. Okay, so this data, okay, we can view from this disk. Where is the data? Here it is only, but we can view from this. Yeah, okay, Spurti PowerCat. Okay, you have to see send two times message. Okay, this is the data, actual data, but you can view from the disk. For example, I add a data in my second disk. I'm adding a data in my second disk. Okay, now what is the view? View means like if you see what is the data in this disk. Okay, what is the data in this disk? Okay, so it is shows like this: data 2, data 3. Understand? Where is data 1, data 2? In a parent disk, and data 3 is created in the this disk. Actually this is a child disk. Actually we should call this one as a child disk. One. Okay, so in the child disk I created a data 3, and in a parent disk is a data 1, data 2 is there. But if you look at the child disk, you can see data 1, data 2, data 3, data 1, data 2, data 3. In case I made some changes in the data 1, I made some changes in the data 1. Okay, something I made some changes I made in the data 1, but that changes, what are the changes I done in data 1 won't affect in a parent disk. Nothing is affected in the parent disk. So what are the data in the parent disk? Okay, what are the data in the parent disk? It stays in the parent disk only. Nothing will be changed. Where we are changing, where we are modifying or adding the data, in the child disk only. When you are adding a data in the child disk, it is like it is stays in the child disk only. The modification is also stays in the child disk. For example, if I remove this child disk and I check my parent disk, it is the data as a previous one only, not as a new one. Okay. Understand, guys? Okay. Here I am giving another example. I created another child list. I put a CD2. Okay. Otherwise C disk 2. It is another child list. Here I created. Yeah, right. It is like a document template. I created a data for in my C disk 2. And as per this link, what happens? Okay, this data also showing here. So if you look at this CD2, you can see the data like a data 1, data 2, and data 4 in the child list 2. And where is the data 3 in the child list? It is not there because in a child list 1, the actual data, the here data is created. In child list 1 only, data 3 is created. And what are the modification you done, it stays in the this disk only. It won't affect on your parent, so then any other disk won't get that changes. Okay, see, now lot of data is there, no SQL, machine learning, analysis, and all kind of data. Think like this is a original data. I don't want to apply any changes in the data, so I will take this data into separate child disk and I apply analysis. Different analysis, different samples of data, I will take it in a different disk. Different disk, I'll take a different samples of data here, and I can analyze this disk separately. So it won't affect on your actual data. Only this data will affect it. Something you find good, so then you can able to take that one as the original format like that. So instead of corrupting the actual data, so you can take it and you can analyze or adding or modifying what are the things you do it, you can do it. Okay, in a real time lot of things will happens. That's a different thing. Guys, understand child is parent is. If you changes
Yes,
apply
sir.
in a
Sir,
child is, won't affect on your parent disk. Yeah, tell me.
sir, if we create a data in child disk too, sir, and if
Okay.
you want to access it through parent disk, can we do it, sir?
No, it won't affect. It
No,
won't
sir.
update in your parent disk.
Okay, sir.
But one condition
So
is
the
there.
data which we create in child disk too doesn't reflect in parent disk, no, sir.
It won't reflect in a parent disk. It won't change the
Okay, sir.
parent disk data. But
Okay,
we
sir.
can do one thing. For example, this is my parent disk. Okay, so I have a P disk. Okay, example P disk one. Okay, and I created a child disk. Okay, so like a multiple childs you can create. Like say, I created a C disk one here. So parent disk contains the data, child disk a new data is added. Now it is running. Okay, it's going on. Okay, now you feel okay. What are the modifications occur in a child disk? It is good. Data is not corrupted. Data is good. Data is not corrupted. Data can be adaptable. So I can merge my child disk to parent disk. I can merge child disk to parent disk. Got the point? I can merge child is to parent is if in case it is okay to merge it, so we can merge together. So that is a concept. Okay, normally what are the changes occur in a child list won't affect on parent days. Okay, and if in case if you want to merge your child list, what are the changes occur in a child list is good, then you want to merge with your parent days, you can merge the parent days. That is possible. And also guys, we discussed about something, right? We are also discussed about snapshot. We discussed about a snapshot, right? What is a snapshot? Snapshot or checkpoint. Your system is good. Now you are your system is very good. Your disk contains your data, system, operating system, applications. Everything is in your machine is very good. OS is good. Applications are there. Okay, and settings. Everything is good. Now you want to try new application. So when you are trying for a new application, what I said, better to take a checkpoint for your virtual machine, right? What I said, better to take a checkpoint at this place. If you take a checkpoint, so what has happened, whatever the data in this one will stay in this one only. It won't modify with a new changes. It won't modify with a new changes. So what I done, I install a new application. Install a some new application in my system. After taking checkpoint, manually you have to take the checkpoint. Okay, so manually you have to say this is checkpoint. Then later you try for a new application. So you install a new application, whether it is working or corrupted. That is a secondary thing. If it is a corrupted and you don't want to use it, you want to go back to the previous condition, you can simply go to the checkpoint and say start from this checkpoint only. So what are you done after that one will remove from your system automatically. And now if you don't want it, you can merge both the things also. In this condition, checkpoint, I think you guys got the point, I think so already. This is a checkpoint or a snapshot. I put a name checkpoint only, or you can say snapshot also. Depends upon which technology you are using. Based on that, names are there. It is gone. Okay, no problem. Actually, this is your parent disk automatically, and this is your child disk. Okay, parent disk and child disk automatically. So the secondary disk means after you check in a checkpoint automatically, up to that one it is a parent disk, next one become a child disk. Very simple. You can remove the child disk, you can keep the parent. That's it. Guys, understand this point? Not this one, parent and child. So this is concept called as differencing disk. This concept we call it as a differencing disk. What is a differencing? Parent disk contains main data. Child disk can access through child disk. We can access the data. We can modify the data. You can add the new data. You can delete the existing data. But your parent disk won't affect. Only child disk for a temporarily accessing the data. And of course, if parent is there, then child is available. If you delete the parent, child is no longer existing. Like a original file and a linking file. Guys, remember hard link, soft link. Original file deleted, soft link file gone. Same thing like that. The parent disk is gone, so child disk also useless. It won't work. Guys, understand differencing disk.
Sir,
Yeah. Okay.
please repeat, sir, once.
Last point or complete?
Last point, sir.
Okay. Last point is very simple. Like if you delete a parent disk, like you have a parent disk, it's a one disk. Child disk, other disk. There is a link between parent and child, right? You are accessing the parent data through the child disk. You are not accessing parent disk from parent disk. You are accessing parent disk data from the child disk only. If in case, if you delete parent disk, if you delete parent disk, child disk won't work. Means it won't connect, and as well as it is useless. you can't access the child disk also. So compulsory parent disk should be there to access the data from child disk. That is the last point.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So the functionality of child disk is totally dependent on the parent disk, right?
Parent only. Parent only. That
Okay, sir.
correct. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Uh, I said no. I will tell a story also. This happened a story in my previous organizations. So what we do in that time, so we have to create a multiple machines in the Hyper-V. So each server capacity is each machine, not a server. Each computer capacity is a 8 GB RAM is there. 8 GB RAM is not 16 GB. 8 GB RAM is there. Old systems only, but 8 GB RAM. Either i3 processor or a dual core processor, not i3 also. Dual core i3 processor. Okay, dual core, dual core processor only. Just dual core Pentium dual core processor or AMD dual core processors, not i3 kind of stuff also. 8 GB RAM is there. So I came to that lab for teaching Windows 2012. Okay, so finally I got in my hands because luckily two people gone from that institute, so they went out from the institute, so I got the handle to lab. So initially we create a virtual machines directly. People don't like it, like creating a installing a 2012 server in a physical machine and install a Hyper-V. In Hyper-V you have to create a virtual machine. Everything you have to work on the virtual machine only, and people don't like it, but I force them to use it because everything is virtual nowadays. We are talking about a cloud, but you don't know how to operate a virtual machine, then what to do? Okay, so everything is a virtual remote machines, right? So we have to habituate it to use the machine and environment connections start involve, so I let them involve in that one only. But problem is, for each and every practical you have to create a virtual machine. For any secondary machines or third machines you are creating, for each time you have to create a virtual machine. That is a time taken progress, right? So we don't have a time like that. Not a full day classes, that is a half day class, means 4 hours 4 hours, 8 hours you have to teach, 4 hours one batch, 4 hours another batch. So what we done, I took a machine. Okay, I created a one machine. First of all I install a operating system in that machine. Voice is installed. I took a machine and voice is installed. Okay, and what are the settings or applications, if possible I will install that application. That's it. This is a disk and this is the machine. So in a virtual machines, and that too Hyper-V is a compulsory separate. We can't see everything as a one also. So this is my machine. Okay, this is my machine, virtual machine. And what is this, the second one? Second one is a disk. Second part one is the disk. This one is virtual machine. This is the hard disk, virtual hard disk. Virtual hard disk contains operating system, applications, and everything. So what we do in the virtual machine, we type a command called as sysprep. Sysprep. What is sysprep? Anyone knows? What is out of box experience?
System preparation, sir. Sysprep.
Very good. System preparation tool. Sysprep is a system preparation tool, but what it will prepare?
Any OS installation, sir.
What it is?
OS installation, sir.
OS installation. Yeah, very good. Can you tell me OS installation, pre-installation steps first?
Requirements will be identified, sir. CPU, RAM,
Very good. Continue.
and hard disk storage.
Pre-installation steps I want. Preparation tool something. Okay. But when you insert a CD, boot from CD dot dot, enter, then what is the first screen you are seeing when you install operating system? Usually Windows operating system.
BIOS setup.
Eh? When you insert a Windows 10 and it is asking boot from CD dot dot, then you press the enter button. You got a Windows logo and something screen appears. You change English India. So what is that screen? What are the
Language,
options in this screen? Yeah,
la-
Language.
language, keyboard
language,
language,
keyboard. Next, time zone.
Time zone.
Both Linux, Windows, anything. When you install an operating system, these are uniquely they are asking. Compulsory they are asking, right? Compulsory they are asking. Your what is the type of keyboard? US keyboard or any keyboard? What language you want to install? You want to install in a English, US language or maybe Marathi language, Hindi language. Time zone where you are located. Time zone currency format. Okay, so this is a uniqueness means my system to your system, my system to some different country system. This can be changes. For example, mine is in English, you are in a Marathi or Hindi something. Maybe your keyboard is different, like you purchase a laptop from Dubai. If you went to Dubai in a season, Ramjan season, so you can purchase in 50%. Like i7 processor, you will get in a 25,000. You will get a i7 processor laptop. You will get it. But keyboard is a Arabic keyboard. UAE that keyboard will be you will get it. So keyboard is maybe different. Time zone based on your location, time zone may be different, but operating system is operating system, right? What are my Windows 10 is look like? America, in America also same, in Australia also Windows 10 same, Pakistan also same Windows 10. Maybe China, if you go to, maybe language is different, but Windows 10 is Windows 10 only. Maybe you went to some Mongolia, okay, maybe Arab countries, your Windows 10 is Windows 10 only, but the thing is language may be different, keyboard style may be different, your time zone is definitely different if you are geographically different. Very good, right? After that one you click on install, you given this one. After that one you click on install. After you click on install, what is you are getting? What is this? Every system has
sensor.
their own license, right? Every system has a license key, unique license key. My system license key different from your license key. Okay. Next, SID. What is SID? Security identification. My user account is different from your system user account. If you give same names also, but identity is different. So user accounts are different. User account ID is different from my PC to your PC. Security identifier. Security identifier. That will is yes. Can you tell in a network base? Think as like a network. What is the unique difference between a system to another system? Not IP address. Every system has a unique number. What is that number? Unique address.
MAC
MAC address.
address.
Hmm? MAC address. Directly I told. Okay. Unique address means MAC address, physical address, like that, right? So MAC address is a unique from my system to your system, and you are saying one thing you're told, no, when you are boot with a operating system means when you insert a CD and you are booting, first of all it's check your system, CPU ID, RAM ID, disk IDs, disk informations. Okay, your Mac information, and it will take it and it's stored in our PCs. And most of the difference is Mac is compulsory difference is there. So every device unique ID, user security ID, group security ID, every device uh, uh, ID. So usually like a computer name, computer names, and mainly MAC address, because when you are connected to the network, so my system MAC address, your system MAC address should not be same. That is a compulsory rule. My system MAC address, your system MAC address should not be same, right? So like that. So what is this out of box experience is define your language, keyboard, licenses, security IDs, MAC addresses. These are all defined in a out of box experience. These things from your computer. This is from your operating system license. In your operating system, this information is stored in your operating system. In your operating system, after installation of operating system, this information is stored. This information is stored in your operating system. If you do system preparation tool, so how to go, don't do it guys, that's why I don't tell this kind of stuff. Don't do it, never open. If you do something and you ask sir, this is something is happened, if possible cancel it, otherwise don't do it. Don't open first of all. If you do run sysprep and select a restart or a shutdown and generalize option and click OK, automatically this information is removed from your system. This information is removed from your system. So that is a system preparation. Go to run, type sysprep, go to run, type sysprep. Very good, it is not correct or something. Okay, .exe is not required. The strip is directly came like this. Okay, you can see sysprep.exe. If you double click, guys, don't do it. Listen carefully, don't do it. Okay, system cleanup action, out of box experience. These are out of box experience. System preparation tool says prepare the machine for hardware independence and cleanup. If you click on a generalize and choose a reboot or a shutdown, so what will happen? Okay, what will happen? It will remove these properties from your PC. It will remove these properties from your PC. Again, if you restart, it will ask for language, keyboard, time zone, license key. Of course, you have to change the computer name, and again it will assign a new security ID for users, computers, and groups. Okay, again it will understand what is your MAC address, like that. Okay, what are the saved properties of your unique properties of your PC will be removed if you use sysprep. Soft reset of a system, hard reset of your system, yeah, it is kind of thing only, but the purpose is different. Okay, yeah, it is happens, but don't do it, then never do it like that. So that is only for in a certain particular systems only. Okay, in a real time, don't do it. If you have a virtual machines, you can do it. If you have virtual machines and you don't want that virtual machine no longer, you can remove the unique properties from that one and you can see it. What is the advantage of that one is also there. So yeah, I will use this pen. Guys, listen carefully. I have a PC. I have a PC. Last time someone asked one question like a capturing image kind of stuff. So same thing I'm telling here. So I have a PC. In my PC, I installed operating system and applications, and I made a settings. Okay, I made a settings. Now this is, I call this PC as a reference PC. I call this PC as a reference PC. It is a reference PC. So I set up everything, install operating system, application settings, everything is correct. Now what I done, I run a sysprep. Run sysprep. I run a sysprep. What happened? It remove all unique characters. All unique characters from it. It will remove all the unique characters from it. Now what happened? It become a hardware impedance and cleanup, right? It means, as I said, it remove license of operating system, MAC addresses, and it remove your language setup and all. So that the unique things will be removed, like a MAC address, licenses, okay, time, language, time zone, language, keyboard settings will be removed from this machine. So this is completely, that unique things are not there. Only it contains main operating system, applications, and settings are there in this system. I will capture this one as a image. I will capture this one as a image. Okay, this is called a image capturing technique using a WDS. You can also do it in Windows. So I capture this one as a image and I store in my PC. Okay, understand guys? The operating system now don't have license, MAC address, or some unique things are removed. SIDs are removed. I captured this one as a image. What is the image contains? Operating system, applications, and settings only. So what I will do, I will deploy this image to multiple computers through network. Through network, I'm deploying this image to multiple computers through network, or maybe offline, online, anything, no problem. Just I'm deploying this image to multiple computers. What is the advantage of that one? What is the advantage of capturing a machine reference PC and remove the unique characters and deploy that operating system, like an operating system, and deploying to different PCs? What is the advantage? It is called a enterprise deployment. Future, in future you have to do this one also. Now we don't have in syllabus. This is there. Autobacks experience is there in Windows, but this is not.
Sir, if it removes the license key of the OS, then it means that we can use that OS in anywhere, multiple
Anywhere,
times.
right? License key should be unique from one PC to another PC,
Another
right?
PC.
My laptop license, you should not use it. So definitely I removed it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in a system preparation. MAC address is also unique from one PC to another PC. Definitely we have to remove that one. So I removed it. So I captured that one as a image. I deploy to multiple PCs. I am asking what is the advantage of that one. Are you guys, are you install operating system or not? And are you install application operating system or not? In generally,
Yes, sir.
physically,
Virtually.
virtually, or anything. We are doing all the steps, selection of options, partitioning, licensing, or maybe anything. Just we are doing all the options on ourselves and install operating system, and after installation of applications, like everything we are doing from starting to ending, right? Manually we are doing everything. So what happened like this, you need to install applications again. Only few are the steps you can able to do it. So then complete operating system, what are the reference machine is there, same setting we are getting. Only thing is you have to insert the license key, and you have to tell what is your time zone, keyboard, language. That's it. User creation, that's it, not more than that one. One more is there in this deployment. Unattended installation is also there. We can do unattended installation, means zero touch installation. So unattended installation means I will create a one XML sheet. In the XML sheet, I will tell the options. What is options? What is my time zone? What is my keyboard? What is my disk space? I have to take it. Like that, I have to inform. What is my keyboard type, language type, time zone type? What is the disk partitioning? Okay, license agree or not? So it is option is there now. I accept the license agreement. I given all check marks, means like I given all information in the file. When I deploy with this file. So it is become like you can install operating system into the remote PCs without telling each and every option when you are installing machine. You automatically will take it from the file. That is called a unattended installation. That is called a unattended installation. Okay, I understood. I think half of the brain is already melted. No problem, guys. If you don't understand last this is preparation, not at all a problem. Okay, it's not a big deal. But people who can able to understand, we should not ignore them. Okay, depends upon each person one time capacity to access. If it is compulsory to learn means definitely I will tell 2 3 times. Okay. So what is a system preparation? It remove the things like a unique characters, unique things from your PC like license, MAC address, okay, time zone, keyboard, language setup kind of stuff. What is a unnetted installation? In the file, you can mention what is your settings in the file and deploy operating system along with the file. Use that file. So if you deploy an operating system using that file, so you don't need to manually select each and everything. Automatically, operating system will take the information from the file and it install operating system automatically. So that is called a zero touch installation or a unattended installation. Guys, I said I will tell you an example. So normally, if you install a OS, okay, it will take time, right? So this is my parent disk. I install operating system and I remove the unique characters using a sysprep. Now and I deleted my virtual machine. I keep my disk separately. This contains my operating system and my required settings, and if I install application also. This is my parent disk. This is the child disk. Okay, child disk 1, child disk 2, child disk 3. For example, 3 disk I created. Here I create a virtual machine only I will create, and I said use existing hard disk. Use existing hard disk. This is a VM1, VM2, and VM3. And I said use existing hard disk as a child disk. Child disk access actual operating system from parent disk. So my get ready virtual machines are 3 virtual machines I got ready. If I want fourth one, within a 5 to 10 minutes maximum, I can get my virtual machine. Okay, I no need to waste my time to install operating system, storage space also not required. There is a lot of advantage of differencing disk is there. So main advantage is your parent disk data won't get corrupted. Second one is we can deploy a immediate disk, very less time. Immediately you can create a disk and we can access the data. So no need to data copy. You don't need to copy the data from one place to another place directly. Create a child list, you can access the data directly. Okay, guys. So last I will show you the differencing disk. You guys already know virtual hard disk like VHD, VHDX kind of stuff. I only shows differencing disk. To do that one, I need a Hyper-V manager and a Hyper-V machine. I took a lot of time on this one, almost like a 2 hours or 3 hours. Now it is a 5 o'clock. I didn't see the time also. Okay, so here it is my machine. This is a disk. Disk is there. New hard disk. I'm going to create a new hard disk. New hard disk. Next, VHD or VHDX. VHD set is a new one in Windows 10, but I still have to try once in directly. So still not yet tried. Okay, enable backup of virtual group for sharing a virtual hard disk is something is showing. I need a full set of Hyper-V environment. This is this small environment I can't do it. VHDX, fixed disk, dynamic disk, differencing disk. To create a differencing disk, okay, to create a differencing disk, you required a normal hard disk. Like I'm choosing a dynamic disk. First, I'm doing a dynamic disk. For us, I put a name of this disk is parent disk. I put a name is parent disk 1. Okay, I store this disk into my C drive, but not in users, in a Hyper-V folder. It is a folder name is Hyper-V. C Hyper-V virtual hard disk. This disk is going to be stored. So next, I'm going to create something 64 GB disk I'm creating. It is a dynamically expanding, so no need to worry about it. Next, finish. So I created a disk, a virtual hard disk. That's it. Where is this virtual hard disk? You have to go C drive. Okay, this is a virtual hard disk. This is my disk. Now currently it is a 4 MB. You have to mount this disk. Is it mounted or you have to go to disk management for a format, because this one is not yet formatted, not yet initialized. I'm using my server manager for this one. Okay, instead of going to disk management, I use my server manager. Disk, um, this is a 64 GB unknown. It is showing, right? Can you able to see 64 GB unknown online, but it is unknown, so you have to initialize that one. Initialize, yes. So it is initializing the disk. What is MSFT virtual disk? What is MSFT virtual disk? Why not it is just a virtual disk? Guys,
Microsoft Virtual Disk.
yeah, very simple. Microsoft virtual disk, that's it. Okay, so new volume. So I'm creating a volume using a server manager. We'll see a little different experiences with things. Okay, disk 1 64 okay, 64 only. I'm not taking other things. F drive, NTFS or REFS, NTFS, and volume name. If you want a volume name, you can put a parent volume. not required, but um, pwall, very simple, and create. Now it is creating a volume and formatting the volume. I said no, system preparation tool and that kind of stuff. Windows 10 first PPT, it is there. Zero touch installation, light touch installation, full touch installation kind of stuff. Check it in Windows 10 first PPT I said. Okay. Now my 64 GB partition is ready. I close this one. This PC. This is my F drive. Okay, empty drive. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some data. Only 4 files are there. I need some looking good files like this. Okay, so where is my data? Here it is. Yeah, copy. See, I copy some data in my F drive. Okay, guys, can you see the data? Something F drive contains data. This is my parent disk. It contains the data. If you want to put more data, you can put it like maybe um, here it is. So many data is there. See, so if so much of data is there, then we can understand what it is. No, it is not like that. It's a simple data is also okay. So we have a data. So I put a data in my parent disk. Remember what data I keep it. Look at in a like a visibility, like this. Okay, like this. These are the files are there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to eject this one. Ejecting it. I removed my partition. Don't worry. I'm going to create a child disk. New hard disk. Next VHDX differencing. Differencing. This is a type of disk associated in a parallel parent child relation with the other disk that you want to leave intact. That is want to leave intact. This is actually disk storage virtualization original meaning. You can make changes to the data or operating system without affecting the parent disk. You can change the data in the child disk without affecting the parent disk, so that you can revert the changes easily. All child must have same hard disk format as a parent, of course. Differencing disk. Next, so I put a name is child disk, and that to one disk. This is a child disk one. Okay, so specify the location of hard disk file. This is a child disk file only. This is the location, and it is asking where is your parent disk. Where is your parent disk? Now second in second screen, it is asking where is your parent disk. My parent disk is in C drive Hyper V. Here, this is my parent disk. This is my parent disk. Next, finish. it is created. So you can go to V. Can you see this is a child disk and parent disk? If you see, parent disk is showing around 200 MB, but child disk is showing a 4 MB only because it is not may not be online. So you can check it. Before I'm going to that one, inspect the disk. Like inspect the disk, click on inspect the disk, go to the your child disk, click it. To know whether, because of name I can understand it is a child disk, but in a reality whether it is a child disk or not we don't know, right? You can see format, type is differencing virtual hard disk, name is child disk 1, current file size is 4 MB, maximum disk size is 64 GB. Who is the parent? Who is the parent? Is a parent 1 is a parent. When it is showing a parent, it means it is a child disk. When it is showing parent, it means it is a child disk. If you want to inspect the parent, inspect parent. Now you will get information of parent disk. What is the parent disk? What is the size, maximum? But it is not showing parent or kind of stuff. Why it is not showing? Because it is a main disk. That's why it is not showing like a child list. This is a child list, it's showing parent. It is not a child list, it is not showing parent here. And also you can see difference disk dynamically expanding. Parent is dynamically expanding. Child differencing disk. That's the difference. It's a one-way communication happens. It's okay. We can't do anything now. So yeah, whether I connected or not, yeah, I connected automatically. Directly it is came. So this is the volume name F drive. Can you see? This is my data. This is my data. So what are the data I given in my parent? So I'm accessing from my child. If you got a doubt, then again I will go to eject it and I will connect with my okay. So I'm going to my child again. This is a child list. I'm right clicking on child only. So mount. So I'm mounting directly. Now, see, this is the child disk contents. What are the parent disk data is there in the child disk? So I have a thing. Okay, so in a child disk, same data is there. If you add some data in the child disk, it won't affect on the parent. But if you add a data and you want to check with the parent, again you have to mount the parent, but we cannot do that one. If child is alive, then you can't put it. You have to remove the link. Okay, so this is the parent and child. Guys, understand parent and child? If still want it, and we can add it and we can check it, verify. No one is responding. Time already, guys, 5:15. Please respond something now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's enough. Okay.